Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another video. Welcome to another time for some edifying. Just to know I am here for you as you are here for our Father. It's nothing much that I would rather to help this moment forever. In this time, I will always show you love, for I love you, brothers and sisters. All right, welcome to another video. All right, brothers and sisters, as we always do. And what do? Edzify. And if you didn't know that was the answer, you should watch the other videos. All right. Thank you so much for the support and for also watching this on the behalf of you and I and many more others. And this is not for monopoly, propaganda, or money. Now, if you do want to donate, that's fine. I mean, just text me. Let me know if you want to donate. I don't really do all of this pay me to teach type of scenario or pay me to do miracles type of scenario. I don't do that type of stuff. I don't pay. I don't do compensation for people's lives. That's like basically saying you're playing with people's lives. Give me one moment. Yeah, I don't really like doing that. Honestly, not that I don't really like. I completely forbid it, and I hate it. Honestly, there is aspect to life that goes beyond the measurements of just gaining, and Christ talked about it in Matthew's, Mark. We can go to Luke, right? And he talked about when the disciples were doing their things of our Father's name, right? What had happened? I got a little thing right here on my nose. What had happened? Told them not to partake, to take anything from the people, that everything will be given unto them, for it's already ordained. He can, he can enjoy however much what they can enjoy however much that they can enjoy, but certain things come in an exchange because that's how the that's how these devils work. You accept, now they have a total cause to think that they can just destroy you, that they can just sabotage you, that they can just say whatever and you'll just believe. Now, there is a difference between knowing and trying to prove a point. See, when I come on here, I don't come here to put nobody down. I come in here to talk, right? About the relevance of good versus bad. See, a lot of people, when it comes to their understanding of trying to understand truth, they can understand the concept of it, but to actually live in it is different because without certain things, they wouldn't consist of their normal life. See, it's the what's the word? It's the device that makes their character. They're like a build-a-bear character where they're building who they are on certain aspects of what is placed before them rather than them being themselves and learning of it, learning the attributes and the concept, but they become so that statement that you hear is yes, it's fine to build a character, right? But it should always be a problem when you are losing yourself, your genuine self, right? Because a lot of people, they do things because of money, and that's the problem. When people lose, people can always have a conversation with me, but you can always tell when we're going separate ways. I do not care if it's I do not care, I really don't care if it's billions of dollars. When we have a conversation, we just start going separate ways. throughout the entire conversation, so much to a point where it becomes silent. And you could just be like, hey, it's starting to get awkward. Let me just walk away. Or if we're on the phone, let me just hit that, end call button. Oh, I got to go. Because what is there more to talk about? Your topic is no longer relevant to me. Not because it doesn't interest me, it just doesn't have any purpose at all. Because, like, I talk to a lot of people, right? Every day is like, especially atheists, by the way. Every day is like, then what do your creator do? Then what do the so called brothers and sisters, they use the word God, right? So called God, what does he do? He doesn't have this. He doesn't do this. You have more moral of a code than this person. But then it's like the people that you're like, you can't clump believers and true believers in the same category. Like it just can't work. It just can't work because we're talking about faith, right? People can explain everything that's dealt in the word. When you explain everything that's dealt in the word, and you only know the word, it's fine. But understand that there are things that are phenomena, right, that will relevate to the word, but where you would just only know the word. What do we call it? A bookworm. Where you're knowledgeable of things dealing with the word. But the word also is established as truth, meaning in the things that you can see psychologically, metaphysically, spiritually, things that you can feel because spirit is an influence. See, it's like when I tell you, brothers and sisters, it's like people expect me to just be like, hey, I'm going to tell you everything that I know. Unfortunately, I can't do that because we're still on square one, talking about the same thing on square one. And most of everything that we talk about, majority of the time, somebody can use it to monopolize off of it and for them to make money. And people wonder why I give them what they need to know, but I shorten down the explanation because I want them to be successful, but I don't want them to be monopolizing over things that are meant for everybody to know. It's like me basically writing. It's like me basically being an apostle, right? And I write a book on my history, on my adventure, my testimony of Christ, and then I just sell it rather than actually adding it to the rest of the books that are, dedicated to the Bible. That's how that make me feel. That people want to be, but they just are not. I don't need praise. And that's the one thing about me. I don't need praise. I don't want praise. I really don't. Because when I talk to people that are believers or non-believers, usually most of my conversations usually deal with results rather than just circulating the same situation just so that we can get attention. I don't like circulating situations. I really don't. Because what am I going to be talking to you about if you can't even possibly think outside the box? But yet people are still trying to figuring me out as if they understand my mindset. My mindset can be set on 1% right now, or I say 1%, but on factor one, and I can just increase that to 10 any given moment. I can decrease it back down to 2. I could decrease it back down to 1 if I want to, let alone 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It doesn't change. See, there's a difference between knowing that and brothers and sisters, I want you to understand this. This is why discernment is a very big key, and why Christ told us to be very wary of the things that goes on around us. Because when we're not wary of the things that go on around us, right, we can sometimes spill out information. Me, I like to have fun, brothers and sisters, because I like to troll a little bit, because it's fun when people are about to rejoice in the aspect of them thinking they're winning, but then before they get that last laugh out, they're like, "What just happened? The button malfunction. How come we're decreasing in these numbers? Whoa, 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 whoa!" That's when I start laughing, because it's like, hey, you laughed a little too early. Why would you do such a thing? The audacity. Do you not know that you're prying of somebody's life that did not give you the permission to do so? So not only are you involving yourself in my life, you are what? Interfering, 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 interfering. Error. That's what's happening. A compilation of interferences and errors. You're making a lot of mistakes. And because a lot of people, when they do these type of things and they thinking critically, they don't even see the little intricate things that are happening in front of them. And it's like, imagine somebody is so clouded, right? It's so clouded by their and what is it called? Their greed of gaining, that they don't even see the little things that could be problematic, because they're so lustfully looking at what's ahead of them, but not what's underneath them or above them, side to side by them. They have no clue. So it's like this. Imagine, let me give you an example, right? Imagine somebody made a summary about you, brothers and sisters, right? And they're like, hey, write a biography. And they started writing a biography, like in the beginning, let me say that, in the beginning, they were writing everything that you were telling them, but then this was then like a language barrier just came up out of nowhere, and then translation just started malfunctioning. So now we have a lot of things that don't make sense because they didn't understand what was being said. And it's like, you can tell your enemies everything, the truth in front of them, even your weakness, and they still want to be able to understand. That includes your strength and everything else. They still want to be able to understand. Why? Because when you're writing a story, and you're writing a story, and you keep writing the story, right? And you keep writing this story, you don't even know that you messed up on certain checkpoints. So you don't even go back to check on exactly your summary or what you thought you wrote about this person, if you thought it was true or not. Because your perception of who you think you're messing with is exactly is it's already thought of, and you think the results of your calculations has already been processed and it's already thorough. Well, unfortunately, sad to say, it's not. And this is how, brothers and sisters, you have to conduct yourself. Just like how the Pharisees and the Jews and the scribes were unto Christ. Christ was telling them, hey, I am this person, but you don't want to listen to me. You don't want to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. But yet you want to be close to me, and yet you want to see miracles. Yet you want the key to this foundation of a world where it's called a city of grace. You want the key, but yet you don't want it. You just want it just so people can say that you got it. Because there's a lot of people that are very earnest, right? But majority of their earnest integrity or actions, it's just nothing but an act. You have two different aspects of forcing. One, the manipulative forcing, which comes, right, in a positive manner, which still they're still manipulative regardless. It comes in a very soft manner, indirect as well. Then you have the very brutal one, which is the second option, which is the manipulative still, but it's more so, it can be blackmail, it can be threats, can be ambushes, can be anything. See, they know that coming directly is going to be problematic to them. Indirectly is the only way they can do it. So, by people doing things indirectly and not being truthful at the same time, it's like, hey, should I really believe you? Should I trust you? Because everything that I've been talking about seems really relevant as how it pops up in conversations. Mind you, I told you that I told you. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It's like imagine getting a dream, brothers and sisters, about the things that people ought to do before they do it, and then now it's like they're doing it, and then they just don't know why. They still can't understand the process of why you keep smiling and laughing the way that you do. Well, it's because you got the makeup on. So just like a circus, this is nothing but a ploy and a game, a gimmick. So why should I take you serious? Now, mind you, right? This is like let me give you guys another example, okay? Because I might come off a little bit unsturdy, right? But imagine I do rapping, right? I rap a little bit, right? And my lyrical rap scheme is very diverse. So I don't have to rap like everybody else for my words to make sense, right? Because a lot of people, when it comes to certain formulas, right, they inference a lot of, shout outs. They're what is it called? There's a specific word. It's not a double tundra, but it's I believe it's a simile or something like that. It don't matter what it is, but there are certain schematics to it where their analogies are very direct, like so direct where you can like there's no other way of thinking about it. When I write, my analogies can be thought of in 4 or 5 different ways because of the way I wrote things, and there's no misconception because they're all one and the same, and it's still going to give you the same result as the way you should think. No cursing, no talking about somebody mama, somebody baby mama, somebody baby father, no guns, no bullets, no death, no prostitution, nothing. Not even gaining money. More so a mirror like effect. Look, me looking at you, looking at me if we were in the same situation. I'm gonna read just a couple bars for you guys. Just so if you can tell me if this makes sense, right? A couple bars. The first one says, if it be you, don't pick the life that you ain't never wanted. Neither pleasure or lust from the ploys of those compensated. An apple brought from the sea, knowing things are complicated, but drowning in acid, but seeing what's intoxication. To feeling numb, living your counterpart, point to the victim. Not for the shame or neither fame, the field of greater flames. Just to see all the boiling points and not to misconfigure. That you've been through a lot, can't imagine they ain't got the picture. And you disturbing seeing your shadow never feeling light with just a flash. So moving fast, you couldn't reach the center. I know it's hard, they put on triggers, so please stay on cool. So to be like freezing when they playing tag, avoid them fools. With all you have the potential of really making moves. That is the motive of what I consider all truths. That is the influence of treasure cause they jaws loose. From their democracy acting like you in star jewels. And congregating amongst them to crucify you. So you know you better and know it, you are the better you. It's very simple, very clean. Nothing extreme, but it's just the versatility of your concept of understanding what the words just said. If I say, if it be you, don't pick the life that you ain't never wanted. In what place am I talking to? I'm the writer talking to the audience, saying, if you were the person in this scenario, if I was you, you being you in this situation, me and you being together in this situation as this person, would you pick the left which is bad, which is good? Would you pick the left which is bad and the right which is good? Neither pleasure or lust from the ploys of those compensated. An apple brought from the seed, knowing things are complicated, but drowning in acid, but seeing what's intoxication. An apple is fructuous. What happens to an apple? An apple what? Turns into acidic, toxic. You can even turn apples into alcohol. So it becomes toxic when it's in an environment that makes it toxic. And people are getting paid by this, by infecting you and corrupting you. What more can you want from that verse? Or I went downstairs trying to understand where the stair was at, but they didn't even get the care. I had to put the baby in the back stroller just to get me out of here. Just to pull up on her hair and try to see what was going on, whatever the case. I don't. Do I have to write like that? No, I don't have to write. I don't even have to freestyle like that. And I understand people really do got good bars and good standards when it comes to like punctuation and straight punches of punchlines. People got a lot of good of those, but it's just like I can't rock with everything because I made my mind. I made my mind. So it's like you basically imagine I literally passed, right? A stage where I was walking on eggshells and glass. And then I crossed that road where everything now is simple on the plane on the floor. There's no more none of this stuff on the concrete. Now I'm able to just walk normally and I have to get scratches on the bottom of my feet every time. And then you pulled me back because you're like, hey, we all doing it. You might as well do the same thing. Why would I do that to myself? Like, come on, be realistic. Why would I do that to myself? There was nothing that in that verse that said anything about money, me making money, and me trying to trifle against people. Should I read the other verses? All right, I'm gonna read the other verse. The other verse says, changing their alchemic ways of modern conversion, making statements on headlines, narrating past casting. Because most of the actors, they've been gone for a minute, just like shells in the beach, nothing deep within to reach in. But that's the cycle of their lives, pretending like cosplay, make up foundation from their era, televise their own ways. If not by Christ, then what is life? You can't just live as puppets, just to express divergence to over all other countries. And mind our kids to the degrees, even those from the counties, seeing corruption's evidence all in the major cities. If it's by chance that we can dance without the fine living. Chance for what is freedom? Then I said, knocking on Babylon door, open only to the prison. Enslaving all our minds from the pigments to color, from our pigments to colorism. What else would I say? Making up foundation from the air and televise it their own way. Make up foundation from the air and televise it their own way. Make up all over your face. It's not real. It's not the real face. It's an image. Foundation is rooted. Then I say, if it's not by Christ, then what is life? You can't just live as puppets. All right, let me repeat that verse again. Make up foundation from the air. So I'm pulling things out of the air that is not real and televise it to you. What else? Like literally, you know what's crazy? When I be breaking down my own bars, I be realizing that I literally realize that rap is no longer rap. It doesn't matter if it's drill music, if it's slowed down or not slowed down. It's no longer rap. It's all the same. Like when I say it's no longer rap, it's the sense of telling a story, but it's just more so the same topics, the same things that are being said over and 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 over. Sex, money, drugs, sometimes gang related. Sex, money, drugs, or death. Same thing over and over and over and over. I got tired of it. I got tired of it. I had this bar I think it was like 2 years ago or a year ago. I made this bar and I was like, she didn't been calling my love, you know I ain't love, cause I mean just keep it real. Just posting all over the gram and say I'm a town with a K on the real. I'm just trying to get in that too. I'm just trying to get in that close. I'm just trying to get in that close. Something like that. I don't even remember. Or what was it again? The story just the yeah, I think I remember. The story just began fighting death like Jackie Chan. Though I solo ink pants come back to solar not air. Deciding your fault once up air, jam back with CPR. Like bars like that. It's just crazy where I used to rap a certain way and then I stopped rapping a certain way because it's just not it no more. Like you only gonna find but certain people that would not rap a certain way. Like I don't even look up to people in the music industry. None. I don't really look up to most people that are in the actual entertainment industry. Like really, I don't look up to majority of these people. There's some people that I will probably like be like, hey, um, I like what you did here. It's very interesting and it's different. But the word look up is kind of crazy. It's crazy. But let's get to the word actually. Hmm, isn't that crazy? The topic for today is what? First, let's get started with Chronicles of Saint Luke, chapter 16. All right, and the topic says, "Don't flip flop. Second chances aren't 100% to your liking. Do not flip flop. Let your yay be yay, your nay be nay." And let's get started. And what does it say? Pick a side and stick to it. If it be either our Creator, right, our Master, and our Savior, nor mammon, of His riches for your faithfulness should be rewarded, for you cannot serve two masters. Pick a side. If it either be our Elohim or mammon, because it seems like everybody life. Oh, you can't be in a relationship with somebody that's like this, still got bills to pay. Then why be in a relationship? Why have bills to pay? But then when you own a house, you still gotta pay bills to keep your house. And if it's not to keep your house, you gotta pay bills to the government, to Uncle Sam. Because Uncle Sam won his taxes. He want his money. He want his share of your share. You still gotta pay for electricity. You still gotta pay for water, but yeah, you go to the store and still pay for water so you can drink water. Uh, what are we gonna pay for next? We already paid for fire. We gonna pay for air next. Hmm. We pay for everything, clothes, because most people don't know how to sew. People don't know how to deal with agriculture skills. These traditional skills that will give you that will keep you surviving for a very long time. People don't know how to use a compass, don't know how to navigate through the stars and through the day, through the night. They don't have no mortar skills to survive. What is money going to do with you once the people that know how to do these things no longer are here? Or if the things that you can replace them as a fix to keep you stabilized no longer works and function and you run out of fuel, what then? We use fuel, gasoline, and we don't have to. But yet, it's still out there and we're destroying the air because of money. But yet people still want to tell people, hey, You got to get a job. You got to go to this prison that they call a school, when the founders of the school that actually fund the school, that made the system of the school, told you that it's for workers and not for individual thinkers. But yet people are still out here thinking a piece of paper makes them intelligent. Hmm? It's one thing where people are intelligent, where they learn information, but the motor skills of just living life without doing things that are petty. It would be impossible without delusion. It would be impossible without, like, the way that these people have set their system. People don't even realize that there's a different metric system and metric unit from the United States and other countries. And other countries call us dummies. But yet, what is the problem? And most Americans don't even know it. Because why? They don't even know what goes on in their community, in their atmosphere. And if they do know, they just don't care because they're on drugs. They're smoking their life away. They're drinking their life. And trust and believe when I tell you that, yes, I used to smoke weed all the time. I used to sometimes drink. But some people don't even smoke as much as I did. I'm 23. I'm talking about people my age. And then you got some that do smoke more than me. I could care less. But your motor skills are just not on it. It's not on point. Let alone your emotional stability. It's not on point. Because you're going to need the drug when you feel like you can't handle everything else. You're going to lose control of your nerves. You're going to go ballistic. Why is that? The drugs started getting to your system. It tainted your blood. Just like coffee. Water is soluble. It can be a mixture. That's the reason why it can change different structures of solid or what? Gas or even liquid amongst itself. There's more water in us than there is everything else. So what do you think is going to happen? What do you think happens to certain type of gases, right? That has heavy metals in them when it's close or in closure with water. It contaminates the water. Hmm. But let's continue the words. And that first verse was for verse 14, at least the summary of that in general. Let's continue though. The Pharisees heard of this and greed, yet Christ said, no matter how hard you try to hide your true self, Eli can see your heart's true intent. So you can try to hide all you want. Your intent is seen. Your heart is seen. There is no hiding that. You can hide behind the acts, the scripts that you read, but your heart, the deep thinking that you do, you can't hide that. But your heart, well, I say you can't hide it. You can hide the scripts and all of this, but your heart, your heart, your heart, your heart, your heart, you cannot hide it. That's where the truth is going to come out. That's how we know if you're a robot, a cyborg or not, an agent or not, if you're possessed or not. For even those that are possessed, they themselves still have hearts. They just don't know any better. So they lack what? We have the difference between ignorance and arrogance. Some people might be like, hey, I'm ignorant. And then they find out that I'm not. And then when they start hearing me talking in a field of things that I do know, they then start to say I'm arrogant. But then they find out that I'm not. What am I? Forgive me. There's something in my eye. I think it was eye boogers. But we're not going to worry about that. All right. All right. Next summary. And it says all can fall, even heaven and earth. But our Father's words slash his laws are forever. And that'll be in verse 18. Now, the next sentence says, he then said, do not commit idolatry on either both for who partake in with you. Does the same no matter the gender. You all be condemned. Verse 19 to 24. So all of these frivolous activities that people are doing out here, thinking polygamous, I think I say that word, polygamous, polyamorous, I do not care. But this poly type of relations people are putting and try to throw on others, think that is very unique. It's not. First off, you women are too emotional. My sisters, just be realistic. Women, you women are too emotional. You want to be in a mono situation to involve others as well, to be poly, but then you still want to keep that one person to yourself. Imagine somebody talking to them because you want to get you want your person to talk to you about talking to somebody else when you done shared your body with somebody else, even if you give them do you know how crazy that sounds? Oh, I'm going to ask my partner if I can go around and smack booty. You know how crazy that sounds? If it was a man, if it was a woman that wanted to ask the man and the man was okay with it, I'm going to question the man. He got something going on that don't make sense. Either he doing it himself and he doesn't care. Because I'm going to really much care exactly where I put my ding dang at and whoever so. I'm gonna for sure care about that. Mm-hmm. Indeed. I'm gonna for sure care about that. So for me, it's like if you're either doing it, you best to stop it. You best to stop it. And if you're not doing it, good job. Because a woman out here nowadays, you guys are very emotional. You know what's gonna happen? The man goes out here asking you, can I go and do this with this woman? And let's just say he does it enough times, so much to a point where you get jealous. Because you're gonna say you don't get jealous, but then your action shows your jealousy. Because if you're not jealous, you're not gonna get back. You're not gonna do get backs. If you're not jealous, you're not gonna yell. You're not gonna get angry. So if you are gonna do all of those things and then try to uh what's the word? Justify your actions by breaking somebody's stuff, by falsely accusing somebody, why do it in the first place? That means you want attention. And if that's what you want so bad, go and find attention from somebody that's going to give you attention for the stupid things in this world. I don't want that type of conversation. You know what I mean? So, brothers, if you're in a relationship doing that type of stuff, you already know better. I don't even have to explain it. Because the one thing that I will tell you is this: if you are against two men being together and you support two women being together, you're weird. Gay is gay. I love people. It doesn't matter what they do. I don't care about their activities. But I'm talking to you, the brothers, right now. Because a lot of you don't understand that. Understand, hey, you might have a fetish, but understand that's a spiritual attack. If you don't get that, then you might have to go back to the previous early videos so you can learn a little bit more of that edifying process. Indeed. It's hard. It's not easy. We all deal with it. Semen retention is very important. Not restraining yourself for 6, 3, 4, 5 months and then going back out there trying to get some cheeks. No. Hold it. The same way when I was talking about the word making love. When you do something too many times, right, it starts to get boring. It starts to be less precious because why? Imagine smacking your arm 100 times. That one spot that you keep smacking your arm at is going to get numb. So it's going to be used to the pain. And then you're going to have to move to a different area, to a different spot to quench that thirst. That's basically what that is. When people don't know that you're not supposed to be making love every single day, every hour, every minute. The lack of control is immensely crazy. And that's not just for men, that's for women as well. Women like to dress a certain way. And then they get upset when people start looking at them a certain way. You know how stupid that sounds? This double standard stuff for men and women is out of pocket. So please stop doing it. Okay? I hit a nail on the wall because a lot of women want to say, a man needs to have a certain money stability for him to be married. No, he does not. No, he does not. No, he does not. That's what your grandmama told you. And she was raised up in a certain type of condition where that's all she was taught. That's what your great grandmama told her. And they were taught these type of concepts. And look where we at right now in the United States and in the world. Has it helped anything? Are people still suffering? Is there more marriages or less marriages now? And people are having more kids out of wedlock. Has it changed anything? No, it hasn't. Because the foundation is corrupted. So somewhere along the line, the teachings have been literally amended to destroy people amongst themselves and their people. And people are just okay with it. Well, I can't. Unfortunately. But do what you feel like you must. If you love our Father, you're going to do what's right, and it's going to come to you naturally. So no worries. I have faith in you. Let's read the next summary. Then further said, now, there was a rich man dripped. Oh, that was my summary. I did write that. there was a rich man dripped out in purple every day and laid in front of his gates a beggar named Lazarus, full of sores, as he only asked the rich man for his leftovers, which returned not to him. Even the dogs showed Lazarus more compassion. So his asking of need of help was not helped, was not heard. And if it was heard, it was pushed to the side. But the animals, the dogs, showed more compassion to him than the people. Just like now in the modern time. People will rescue a dog, spend thousands of dollars on a dog, on a cat, rather than investing, helping companies that or not nonprofits. I mean, there are some nonprofits out here that are helping people, but helping associations or projects that are meant to help people, that genuinely help people, and it's not just to profit money. People are doing it for animals, but not for humans. You see more of it for animals than you see humans, which is crazy. You got women and men out here calling their dogs my baby. Papa, forgive me. You know how crazy that sounds? If you want to have a child, get you a husband. Or if you are a woman, yeah, if you're a woman, get you a husband. If you're a man, get you a wife. Go and have a child. Simple. Next sentence. Later to find out both died, right? Lazarus went into heaven and the rich man to hell. Now, mind you, this is verse 25 to 31. And this is a parable, by the way, because a lot of people don't know that. Okay? And if you know what I say is a parable, is because nobody has went to heaven. In the sense of once you die, you go straight to heaven. Unless we're talking about Enoch, and we're not really sure 100% what happened to Enoch. And I don't want to make assumptions or summaries. And even if I know a little bit, it's not my job to say it. Because obviously the man was not told, we were not told about what happened fully with Enoch. Besides the history of Enoch, until Enoch no longer became Enoch and was after Enoch. But let's get into the word. And the next statement says, the rich man in hell then acts due to torment from Abraham, from Lazarus, for Lazarus help and got none. Let me read that one more time. The rich man in hell then asked due to torment from Abraham for Lazarus help and got none. Then Abraham replied, for he was selfish with the favor given unto him, as Lazarus had none. Not only that, the passage for us will not allow us to pass through, and the same for you. Then the rich man tried to dispute the position of Lazarus, and his then the rich man tried to dispute the position of Lazarus and tried to testify against him, but was nulled. His accusations had no sense. Basically, that's what that sounds like to me. He made a claim and was like, "Hey, Lazarus wasn't innocent either." But then they were like, "Hey, so if he wasn't innocent, why is he up here and you're down there?" Down, yeah. Even if the sun is falling down. I don't say every lyric because I don't really like all of that stuff. But I just like having fun when I make certain type of melodic sounds that is kind of relevant but not relevant at the same time, just so that we can get the good groove onto here. All right, but let's continue. For all the laws of that is to instruct them to come to heaven and choose not. Letting one have a second chance wouldn't change his outcome. So it's like taking somebody out of hell that haven't learned a lesson and bringing them to heaven. What do you think is going to happen in heaven? What do you think is going to happen in heaven? Another rebellion times 2.2, 2.0. Well, it wasn't even a 2 point. There wasn't even a 1.0. I think it was a 0.01. Then a 0.02. Because the 0.01 was the first person to think about rebelling, and then the 0.02 was when he convinced everybody, when they convinced the rest of everybody else to follow their 0.01. So yeah, there wasn't a 0.10. 1.0. This is probably going to be a point, a 0.03. Because can you imagine somebody being brought to a place that they don't even understand why they went into the worst place in the first place? Imagine that. Wah. Problems. Bombastic side eye to the maximum level. So, enough of that. What should I be saying to you guys today? Yeah, be real. Don't be fake. Because I can read you like a book for your own sake. I say sake. I mean, for your own sake. You think you're taking notes on me, but the notes might not even be exactly what you thought the notes was. Because of the difference between me taking things serious. I said that a little too fast. There's a difference between me taking things a little bit serious and what? And being genuine and just having fun and relaxing. It's like if we're racing, right? I'm going to be jogging, taking my time while you're burning your energy and your stamina. I got pretty long legs. I can run very fast, but I don't have to. I'm just going to take my time jogging. And I'm going to still make it to the finish line before you. You're just rushing. I'm watching, knowing exactly how you take your time. When you start, or I said take your time, when you start to slow down, that's when I'm going to just start trying actually a little bit, running a little bit faster. Just saying. All right, brothers and sisters, I said a lot. I hope that I haven't really said enough, but I hope that the little bit of what I said was enough to understand what was necessary and what was needed. So much favor unto you. All right, and I pray for your discernment. And as for those that want to use this video, if you want to use this video, use it for the truth. Use it for unifying people and bringing forth the will of our Father's will, of His glory. Otherwise, there will be consequences. I will always say it. It's not out of hate or chaos, but out of love and truth and good and peace. So, you already know what's about to come next. Mwah! And if somebody told you they don't love you today, tell them I said, I love you. And I love them. So they don't want my kiss. Here goes another one. Mwah! All right. And of course, I should not end this with a song, but we're gonna do it anyways. This is the tribe of the Israelites, and I don't usually sing after something, but I don't care if it's good or bad. If I can even bring myself to understand. But if you want me to be around you, for it is the glory. I tried a little bit hard, and what I thought I came off a little bit much louder than I exerted myself or assumed myself to be. Let's try that in a different tone. Shoobop, shoobop, bop, 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 shoobop, shoobop. Alright, let me stop. Good night, y'all. Have a great rest of your day and night. All right. Much love to you all. Take care.